Hello friends, welcome back. Today we are going to start with something called mechanics. Now what is mechanics? Mechanics is that branch of physics which deals with state of rest and state of motion, right? So anything related to state of rest and state of motion. Now what is state of rest? State of rest is a state where the motion is zero, okay? So that might sound something weird to hear, but then I'll explain, okay? State of rest and state of motion, then causes of state of rest and motion, right? Depending on that, this mechanics, this branch of physics is divided into two parts. Now one is called statics. So mechanics is divided into statics, and the second one would be dynamics. When you say statics, when statics, the objects are at rest. It is the study of objects at rest. But then, an object at rest, will there be some force acting on the object? The answer would be yes, or answer can be no even. But then, for the time being, let us understand that the object is at rest. In dynamics, it is the objects are in motion. Okay, but when I consider only motion, then that part of dynamics would be called kinematics. But then again, what is the cause of motion? Cause of motion can be some force acting on the body, right? Like in statics, we would be studying only the forces acting on a body. Now, while in motion, there may be some forces. Here we are considering only motion. But if when we consider motion as well as the cause for motion, that is the force acting on the body, that branch of physics, that would be called kinetics. Now here the objects are at rest, and here the objects are in motion. Now the state of rest and state of motion. Okay, now these are things that we really need to understand. Now when do I say that an object is at rest? When the position of an object does not change with its immediate surroundings, then we say that the object is at rest. For example, I am standing here, okay? I'm not going to move for next let us say 10 minutes. What would you say? You would say that he's at rest, correct? But if I as you're watching me, if I move from here to here, if I move from here to here again, right, what you would say? I'm in motion, correct? So now you are watching me moving with respect to the camera frame, correct? And then you infer that yes, he's in motion. If I don't move, then you would say he's at rest. So that is how the things work, okay? When an object changes its position with respect to his or its initial immediate surroundings, that object is said to be in state of rest. And when the object changes its position with respect to immediate surroundings, then it is state of motion. But then I have been uttering these words, immediate surroundings and all. Okay, let me explain. Suppose you and I, we are sitting in a bus and the bus is moving, okay, towards Delhi or towards Bangalore, someplace, okay, and I'm reading my book, and suddenly I look here and I see you, okay. I find that okay, you are also reading a book. After 5 minutes, I again look here and I find you sitting there. So that means 5 minutes back you were here, now at this point of time you are there, correct? That means you are not moving. So I think that you are at rest, okay. But then while I am thinking of this, I look out the window and what I find is the trees are moving back, the houses are moving back. So that means the bus in which we are sitting, in which both of us are sitting, that bus is moving. And then I come to know that myself and you, okay, both of us are in a state of motion. So initially when I looked at you, okay, I thought that you were at rest. But now when I look at you and even out of the window, then I realize that you and I both are in motion along with the bus. So that means the frame of reference would be important to um, assert whether a body is in the state of rest or state of motion, isn't it? So that is why the words immediate surroundings, correct? So that is about state of rest or state of motion. But then can there be a body which you can definitely say that it is at rest? Is it possible? Just think about it. Maybe this marker, I'm keeping this marker over here, okay, I'm not going to touch it, okay, it is going to remain there even after this video is over. And tomorrow when I come back to meet you guys here, again this marker is going to be sitting over here, I'm not going to touch it, okay. Can you say that it is at rest? Obviously you have every reason to say that it is at rest, and provided you trust me that during the evening or during the night I'm not going to touch it, okay. But as long as you see that it is here, you would say that it is at rest. But then it's about 5 o'clock in the evening now, okay, and by the time we meet again tomorrow it will be 5 o'clock, okay. What happens in these 24 hours? The earth rotates about its own axis, correct? And then this marker which was here along with the earth's surface, right, it is going to move, okay, and within 24 hours it is going to come back to the same position, isn't it? So has the marker moved some distance? The answer is yes, but then that would be with respect to some point outside the earth's field, correct? Now how much distance has the marker moved? This is our earth and this is the axis, and this marker is here, okay. So earth rotated about its own axis like this maybe, and this marker came to the same position. Radius of earth r is equal to 6400 kilometer, and when the earth completes one complete revolution, that is 2 pi radian, or I would say the distance covered by this marker in one rotation is 2 pi r kilometer. So that would be about 12800 pi kilometer, correct? That many kilometers. And how much time did it take for that? It took 24 hours. So I divide by 24 hours to this, I'll get some kilometers per hour, and that is the speed, correct? So if I observe this marker from some point outside the earth's field, okay, then I would realize that this marker was really in motion. And do you know how much speed this is? If you calculate this, it would be something like 1675 kilometers per hour. 1675 kilometers per hour. Can you believe this? Okay, when I drive my car at 140 kilometers per hour, I start getting instructions from my wife and my mom, okay, and here we are talking about 1675 kilometers per hour. But why don't we realize the speed? Because every object near me in my vicinity, it is moving with the same speed, correct? So I don't realize the speed at which I'm actually moving. Now forget about this speed. Even earth is revolving around the sun with some speed. It completes one rotation around sun in 365 days. Can you imagine the speed, linear speed that Earth has got? It's tremendous, right? So again, I'm coming back to the same point. State of rest and state of motion, they are relative terms. In the next video, we'll be talking more about motion in one line or motion in one dimension, motion in two dimensions, then motion in three dimensions, and so on. It's going to be really, really exciting. Thank you so much.